Dave, a great fight back on your home debut here. What was your assessment?
Yeah, listen, I think we've been victim out ourselves last week. Probably, if we're being fair, we should have won the game last week. If you look at 2-0 down, we probably should have got nothing from the game today, but showed signs of, like I say, real resilience, determination, and especially here, goals ultimately will change games. And we spoke about moments in games that will keep the crowd in it and get that atmosphere. And like I say, I thought the fans were brilliant to stay with us at 2-0 down, because there's obviously expectation, and we'd spoken about that and dealing with that. So thankfully at the end we could, like I say, we get back to 2-2, and on another day could nick it, and we give them, or we send them home at least a little bit happy than we were with 20 minutes to go.
I spoke to Joe before the game yesterday, and he was saying, he'd been impressed with the way their front three worked, and they showed why he'd been impressed. They're a handful, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Not only them, I think the two wing backs, they ultimately play a 3-2-5 in possession, and the five of them, what they do have is pace and good movement, and they play with a real high intensity. And for the first 10 minutes we didn't start, don't get me wrong, I'll be critical of our lads when we didn't deal with it. We got through that spell, ultimately then concede a penalty and put us on the back foot. We look back at half time, you can be maybe a little bit critical. We've had good chances that we should score, but ultimately we're behind. I spoke at half time about the first 10 minutes of the second half being important and showing us an intent, and ultimately we concede again, which really puts us on the back foot. But the substitutions made a difference. Lads came on and really affected the game. We had to gamble, we had to change our shape, if you like, and that's, like I say, credit to the players to keep going, and like I say, a point that we didn't look like getting.
Like we saw last week, the third goal in a game like that is always it's going to be crucial. It was a wonderful strike from Nicky Featherstone when it came, wasn't it?
It was a great strike, yeah, considering the opportunities we had previously. You think that we had easier chances to score, but again, it comes out from the edge of it. We've spoken about people taking responsibility, and when you're playing in an environment like this, when, like I say, there's expectation, you need to be not scared of missing, and not scared of kicking the ball out the ground, not scared of having a go in it being blazed over. Yeah. You've got to use that as a positive. Recognise that when you are shooting or when you are crossing, put it in there with a belief. If the ball goes out the ground, then so be it. Everyone will moan for a little bit, and then you get on with it. You have to move on. That's I suppose the test of good footballers, to be able to move on quickly and put disappointment behind them and keep doing it. And if the disappointment happens 2 or 3 times, the third one or the fourth one, ultimately, hopefully, will go in the right area or in the goal and give everyone a big lift.
How crucial a moment was it when Ben Killip made that save at 2-1 just before we got the equaliser? Yeah,
there was. I suppose there's always going to be moments in games where things turn. We spoke about it last week in terms of what point changed the game. There'll be different things that go on. Ben's had his doubters here, and had a little bit of stick, as you would imagine, because ultimately as a goalkeeper you're judged on keeping the ball out your net. What we've got to do is make sure that the saves he has to make it at a minimum and defend better. I think, like I said, I think we need to do that. We need to be more aggressive, or less passive, should I say, in the final third of the pitch in terms of stopping crosses and stopping shots, and ultimately that'll go a long way to us keeping more clean sheets, which, like I say, if we're going to be successful, we have to do that. We can't be in a position where we're going to have to score 3 goals every game to get 3 points.
And Jimmy Toure kept his nerve from the spot, and after that, did you feel like we would go on and snatch all 3 points?
Yeah, I think you're always wary, because we're still pretty open in terms of what we were doing, and with the pace that they have, you almost allowing the game to become a little bit of a basketball game in terms of one team counters the other team, goes up the other end. But you always feel you'd have a chance, and we've had, like I say, two good chances. Keeper makes a save, we just need someone in the 6-yard box to tap it in, and then obviously J-Mo's header at the back stick. You're hoping the net will ripple, and the crowd in the end there behind the goal go mad. But it wasn't to be. But it's, like I say, we showed a lot of resilience, showed a lot of guts, and it's a point well earned.
Wind, rain and a bad first hour, but in the end, are you satisfied with the way it's gone on your home debut here?
Yeah, at the moment I don't have lost here, so it's going all right at the minute. Listen, we'd love to have won. We've just spoken about in there, draws are good at keeping runs going. this will look a whole lot better draw if we can go to Chesterfield and win on Tuesday. That's the way football works, it turns around. So listen, if someone would have offered us a 2-2 after 60 minutes at 2-0, you'd absolutely taking it. So yeah, we'll take that. We'll move on and hopefully, like I say, back up today's draw with a win on Tuesday.